Hello, I'd like to call this meeting to order. And before we get started, I'd like to say that after careful consideration, I have decided to rescind my resignation. I feel obligated to the students and the community to fulfill my term and to see this through to fruition. Scott?
Likewise, I'm going to rescind my resignation, or whatever elements of a resignation there was out there. I didn't really formally say anything, but the paper did, one of the papers did report it. So, you know, it was great support from all of you. And loved hearing. I think I got a text message or a DM from maybe every single person in here this morning, and a lot of you overnight, you are going to be very tired this evening by the time we leave here because you didn't get any much sleep. But anyway, I appreciate all the support, and you know, you directed me in the right direction, I believe. So I'll be.
Okay, I would like us to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we get started on the actual hearing, I would like to give you a reminder. This is just a reminder that the Open Meetings Act legally prohibits discussing any item not on the agenda. Individuals who do not adhere to the purpose of the meeting, which is the school closure of AIB and the school consolidation, will not be allowed to speak. So please don't. Okay. We are on item 2, and it's the hearing on closure of Arthur A.I.Boreman Elementary into the consolidation of Tyler Consolidated Elementary School. First up is the summary of proposed actions presented by Mr. Hiley.
First off, thank you all again for coming. Those who were not here last night, I wanted to thank the folks who've been a part of this process for the last year that we've been talking about this consolidated elementary school. So I want to thank all those people that were part. So we'll start. If you saw the presentation last night, please bear with me. Recording disclaimer. Please be advised that this meeting is being both video and audio recorded for official purposes. Additionally, the meeting is being live streamed on the district's website for public viewing. By participating in this meeting, you consent to the recording and broadcast of your image, voice, and any remarks made during this session. Impact statement. The Tyler County Board of Education proposes the closure of Arthur A.I.Boreman Elementary School and Sistersville Elementary School into a newly constructed Tyler Consolidated Elementary School with an anticipated completion date of August 2027. This marks a significant milestone in our commitment to providing exceptional education and opportunities for our students. At Arthur A.I.Boreman, right now the enrollment is 278 students. From last night, in 1974-75, when Boreman and Sistersville Elementary School were opened, we had about 1,255 elementary school students. We are half that size now, so we've lost an entire school. So that's one reason that we started to look at this consolidation. At Arthur I.Boreman, the specific school shows a consistent decline over a 10-year period, starting from 343 students in 15-16 to 269 for the projected 25-26 school year. We are currently at 278 students there. The biggest drop occurred between 1920 and 2021 of 32 students. The facilities at Arthur I.Boreman. It was built in 1974 with some renovations in 1996. It's approximately 54,000 square feet. It's designed for 450 students at this point. The amenities that it has: classrooms, gymnasium, cafeteria, library, media center, playgrounds, parking for about 75 vehicles, and the WVDE Office of School Facilities report on the condition was fair to good. Shared concerns: an aging infrastructure, windows, doors, bricks, flooring, sidewalks, HVAC, copper piping, and fire alarm and fire pump. Limited technology infrastructure, inefficient energy systems, accessibility concerns, parking, and traffic flow are somewhat of an issue. Over the last few years, pretty much yearly, we've had to dig up portions of the floor because of aging pipes due to water corrosion and leaks. So that's another thing at Boreman that we've had issues with, along with Sistersville Elementary School, but more prevalent at Boreman. Personnel. By consolidating these two elementary schools to one consolidated elementary school, we would keep all employees. No one would lose their job due to the consolidation of these two schools. Transportation, there was a packet down there when you came in that had all the routes and the time differentials. If you look over those, some went down by 20 minutes, some may have went up by 20 minutes. But just like we have now, there are only 3 bus routes with the consolidated school that we would have to get a waiver for. And right now at our 2 elementary schools, we have 2 waivers in place. Or 3 waivers in place, so it would be the same. And like I said last night, we'd be supportive of adding more runs if we had to. I think with the state-of-the-art elementary school, we would probably see an influx of students, and if we had to add some routes, so be it. We would be fine with that. Finance. To provide an equal and quality education to each student in Tyler County, the board proposes to consolidate services. This closure would save the Board of Education maintenance and operating expenses on 2 buildings that are antiquated. What would we be able to provide these students with a brand new state-of-the-art elementary school? Enhanced academic opportunities, improved facilities, increased efficiencies, a stronger community bond, better resources, environmental sustainability, accessibility and safety, and a unified school culture. Community. We don't take lightly the history and significance of both of these schools that we're looking to consolidate. Consolidation, though, enhances educational opportunities and resources. One campus fosters unity, accessibility, and efficiency. Our commitment to educational excellence remains unwavering in Tyler County. The consolidation of Arthur I.Boreman and Sistersville Elementary School into Tyler Consolidated Elementary School represents bold steps forward. Together, we will create a dynamic learning environment that supports the unique needs of our students, foster community engagement, and prepare our children for success in an ever-changing world. So the process, we started back in January with our Ed Specs process. We started just looking at the beginnings of what a new school would look like. So the Educational Specifications Committee participated in a series of exercises, workshops, and focus groups to discussions designed to envision learning environment needed for the future of Tyler County schools. So we tried to look at where public education is going and education in general, and then what our kids will need to be successful in a worldwide job market as they grow older. So we started that process last January. We had 57 members on that team, comprised of central office staff, AIB teachers, service personnel, SROs, nurses, social workers, Board of Education members, community members, local businesses, parents, and to say a few. But we have 57 members who were part of this. So on January 9th, we had our educational visioning. So what this was we got our group together, our EdSpecs group together, and we started looking at different aspects of what we would want to see our new school have. What is important for our kids to grow and be successful? So we had that meeting on the 9th. Here are some things we did. So Mr. Pillar, he brought in a bunch of pictures of different new innovative schools, and we hung them on the wall in the library. And members went around and just put dots where they thought, hey, this would be a great idea. So this is kind of where we started the framework of what we wanted this school to look like. So then we moved on to focus groups. On January 22nd, 23rd, Rob and folks from EdSpecs and some architects from McKinley went around to each school, AIB and SES, and talked to teachers about in grade levels and allowed them to really focus in on more, grade level specific things that they wanted to see in the school. And then the other cool thing was they allowed students input on what they think a new school should look like, which was a pretty big deal. Then we moved on to just not too long ago, we had a survey. We put a survey out to parents about what is important in a new school for you. We had 175 responses. Just to go through a few, what academic and or extracurricular programs are most important for you in your child's education? STEAM, social emotional learning and mental health. You can see up there, across the board, there are lots of things that are important. But STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and math, we're right at the top. Rank the importance of types of space in the new school design. Large, flexible classrooms with collaborative learning is what the top line says. And you'll see in a few minutes, we took that data and we put it into our conceptual plans. How important is incorporating sustainable and eco-friendly features in the school design? That question was pretty much neutral. Some were for, some against. Most didn't really have an opinion either way. What safety and security features are most important to you? If you look at that graph, 28% said cameras and monitoring systems. Another big one there is blue, and that's secure building entrances. So we've taken into consideration those things when looking at this new elementary school. What types of technology do you think are essential for classrooms? We are a one-to-one county, and that was part of this, and also advanced Wi-Fi and connectivity. So that's something we'll have to work with providers to continue to get that. And then what community-focused features would you like included in the school? As you can see there, pretty equal across all parts. After-school care programs was the largest. That would be our Boys and Girls Club. They would have a dedicated space there at the new elementary school, along with tutoring and other opportunities that would be there. So next, what in the process was McKinley Architecture Company provided us with some renderings, and I just want you all to know these are just artistic renderings. They're nothing set in stone, but it does kind of depict the layout of where it would be and what it would look like. Exact grading may be different, colors may be different, but we wanted people to be able to see some pictures. And if you've noticed in the background here, we've had a little video playing of kind of what it would look like. So here would be an aerial view from Route 18. So In the picture to the left is behind the high school, and then the glass you see there in the front would be the commons area for students. This would be the main entrance, or that would be the cafeteria, I'm sorry, and the main entrance where you would come into the school. To the right of that main entrance is some outside eating areas for kids, or some outside classrooms that I think would be very important moving forward, especially with the landscape we have and things that we can offer kids just with the environment around. Pickup and drop-off area for parents. There would be separate car and bus entrances and exits for parents. I know that was a concern, and it is a concern at all of our schools, is after school and before school pickup and drop-off. In this school, there would be drop-off for parents, and you would never interact with the buses. So that would be a great feature. This would be, so if you're looking behind the high school here, behind the back parking lot, this would be grades 1 through 5 wing. And so if I back up a couple, oops, went the wrong way. Let me back up. So to the left, that's what you're seeing with the 1 through 5 grade pods. Then the middle is kind of the common areas with the office, and then to the right is pre-K and kindergarten. As you all know, pre-K and kindergarten classrooms must be set up differently, and honestly, they don't need to be interacting with the older students that much. So you'll see here, we go back to the slide. What this drawing is a collaborative learning community. So picture the school as pods. So you would have a first grade pod, a second grade pod, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Okay? So the classrooms, the individual classrooms would be around, but this would be the center space for that grade level. And this would allow for collaborative learning to happen, bigger projects, maybe some tiered interventions for kids, but all kinds of space there that they could, utilize for collaborative learning. So we did take that aspect of our ed specs and our survey to put into the school. All right, some questions. What happens to the existing buildings at AIB and SES? The answer is the buildings will be sold. The Tyler County Board of Education will not keep or maintain buildings after consolidation. Another frequently asked question, what will the name of the new school be? That part has not been determined. If we're able to follow through and there's a vote to do what we want to do here tonight, then that's probably one of the next steps. And we'll have a committee of stakeholders that will make that decision. AIB and SES have been well maintained. Why do we need a new school? Consolidating two 50-year-old schools into one modern facility ensures long-term efficiency, improved educational resources, and reduced maintenance cost. While the existing buildings are well maintained, they are aging and may not support future needs. Leveraging the current influx of oil and gas revenue is a rare opportunity to invest in a sustainable, state-of-the-art school that will serve students and the community for the next 50 years and beyond. Why are they building a new school when AIB and SES were built not too long ago? Like I said, both schools were built nearly 50 years ago. They're nearly 50 years old and exhibiting some failing infrastructure. Is this building going to raise our taxes? And the answer to that is the tax rate has not changed since 1974. This building is being built with current funds. There will be no bonds or additional taxes needed. All of our students will be in the same area. What about safety? Well, with this project comes an additional bridge and roadway to the elementary school that will come off of Route 18. That would give us two means of egress for the middle school, high school, and for the elementary school. That will allow us better protection and access to get off premises if needed. So that's a big point of safety. The other thing I would like to mention is Mr. Wiest had a couple questions last night, and I left my piece of paper over here. Somebody grab it real quick. I got his answers. So Mr. Wiest had asked a question, how much money have we spent thus far on the elementary project? So we purchased 36 acres at $10,000 an acre, which is the going rate for oil and gas land when we purchased the land. And then after we purchased the land, which was 36 acres, that was $360,000 with lawyers' fees, which he would know a lot about, and some other things involved there, title work, all that stuff. It was $412,000 is what we ended up spending on the land. $250,000 has been used we have spent thus far on architectural renderings, the EdSpecs project, the process, some of the site feasibility studies, and some other things there. The other thing is, with the acquisition of the land, regardless if we were to build a new elementary school or not, we wanted that land to provide a secondary egress for the middle high school. That's safety 101. We need another means of egress to get out of that building and onto Route 18, for not just for us, for the buses, but for also emergency services and management. That's an issue. So I hope that answers your questions, Mr. Wiest. You're welcome. That's all I have.
Okay, now we'll move on to the next part, and that would be delegations and public comments. And we will do it the exact same way we did last night. And I will go down the paper in the order that people signed in. So first up is Carla Wells representing AIB, and the subject is school consolidation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carla Wells. I'm a teacher at A.I.Boreman Elementary School. I'm here to speak on behalf of the faculty and staff of Boreman. The idea of consolidating our elementary schools into one unified campus may sound ambitious, but the benefits are profound, not just for our students, but for our staff, our communities, and our entire county. First and foremost, by uniting our students from pre-K through fifth grade, we ensure education continuity across all grade levels. This creates a seamless learning experience for students where the expectations for behavior and academic performances are consistent from one year to the next. Teachers will have the opportunity to build stronger relationships with students, and curriculum transitions between grades will be smoother. We can also eliminate the need for sharing faculty members. Right now, our elementary schools share specialists like for STEAM, art, library, social workers, guidance counselors, and even therapists like occupational and physical professionals. This current setup is not always ideal, and consolidating schools means that all staff will have access to the same resources, equipment, and students, no more juggling multiple schools and competing priorities. This change will also give us the chance to address a fundamental issue with our current facilities. Our elementary school is showing signs of wear and tear, with structural issues that are increasingly difficult and expensive to repair. A new consolidated school will not only provide a modern, safe environment for students, but will also have the latest in energy-efficient technology, including a more reliable heating system. We'll be able to provide a space that truly supports learning and growth, one that is built to last for many years to come. Another major advantage is the ability to provide a better, more collaborative environment for our teachers and staff. Rather than traveling between schools, our staff will work together in one central location. This means more time to collaborate, better schedules, and increased opportunities for professional development. There will be more time for teachers to work together on lesson plans and strategies to support our students, and we'll also have more resources dedicated to specialized support, including services for students with special needs. One of the key benefits is the impact on our communities. A consolidated campus will provide a hub for families, creating opportunities for more united events, sports, clubs, and extracurricular activities. This is not just about education, it's about building a stronger, more connected community. We envision more family engagement and support with parents and caregivers coming together in a shared space. A new campus could also help generate revenues for the county through the sale of our current buildings. This could help offset some of the costs of construction and could fund other important community projects. We could also see savings in the long run as the new building will be more energy efficient and cost-effective to maintain. When it comes to student access, the new facility will offer more space and better amenities. With potentially 2 gyms, each gym teacher can focus on specific grade levels, providing students with better physical education experiences. Additionally, students will have access to more specialized facilities and programs that were previously limited due to space constraints. Lastly, there are challenges that staff face in balancing their professional and personal lives. By providing on-site childcare, it can help teachers and support staff staying employed, reducing turnover and enhancing the stability of our workforce. In conclusion, consolidating our elementary schools is not just about combining buildings. It's about providing a better, more cohesive educational experience for all of our students and staff. It's about creating a facility that is built for the future, one that is safe, efficient, and capable of supporting the needs of every student. It's about strengthening our communities and ensuring that our resources are used to the fullest potential. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter.
Thank you, Mrs. Wells. Next up on the paper is Melissa Kendall from AIB, and she is talking about the school consolidation also.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Kendall, and I am a second grade teacher at A.I.Boreman Elementary School. Thank you all for being here today. I want to take this opportunity to discuss an important topic that has the potential to positively impact our community, our schools, and most importantly, our children. Let's acknowledge a simple truth. Child care is a lifeline for employees with young children. By ensuring that reliable and accessible options are available, we empower working parents to focus on their professional goals while knowing their children are safe, nurtured, and learning. This benefit extends beyond the family. It creates a ripple effect, boosting productivity, morale, and stability across our workforce. Now let's talk about our students and their growth. By consolidating schools, we can bring students together earlier in their educational journey. Instead of waiting until middle school to unify their experiences, we can give them the opportunity to grow, learn, and collaborate from an earlier age. This creates a foundation for lasting relationships and prepares them for a future where teamwork and diversity of ideas are essential. It's important to note that both schools involved in this discussion are already thriving thanks to the exceptional leadership in our county. The administrators, teachers, and staff have created environments of success, and this consolidation would only amplify those strengths. By combining resources, expertise, and best practices, we can enhance the quality of education and provide even more opportunities for our students. Consolidation isn't just about improving education, it's also about solving practical challenges. Our schools are seeing an influx of students and staff from neighboring counties, and we're running out of space to accommodate them. Consolidation provides a proactive solution, ensuring that we have the room, resources, and infrastructure needed to support our growing community. This decision is about more than just logistics. It's about building a brighter future for our children, our educators, and our entire community. Together, we can create an environment where every child has the tools they need to succeed from the very start of their journey. Thank you for your time and support as we consider this important step forward. As a teacher and parent of children in child care, elementary and middle school, I applaud our county leaders for their continued support and will always strive for what is in the best interest of our children. I pray that recent events do not distract us from our ultimate goal, which is uniting our county and giving our kids the best child care and education they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kendall. Okay, next up would be Pam Stallings, and she is the Student Success Center staff. Oh, it's the whole staff.
You get one, you get us all.
And they are here to talk about the Student Success Center and what they do.
Good evening, and we will provide a detailed information session or presentation at the next board meeting. I believe we're on the agenda to explain what is a Student Success Center. But looking at the development of possibly a new elementary school, we would encourage you to consider placing a Student Success Center in that facility as well. For those of you who aren't aware, today we figured it up. I think we have 134 years of education between the 5 of us working with students, and students have drastically changed in the past 10 to 15 years. When I started here 21 years ago, I would work with a student who had a breakup, or maybe mom and dad were divorcing, or their grandmother had passed away. But the issues we see today are far greater, and they affect our students so much more than you can even imagine. Probably 6 years ago, I was at a board meeting with Katrina at the Family Resource Network, and she was like, what do you need? And I'm like, honestly, if we had a one-stop shop that could serve our kids, it would be great. Because Mrs. McCoy and I at the time were in a very small area, 2 of us, so if we had more than 2 students come in to see us, they waited. We tried to triage tears over breakup. It just depended on what came in that day. Sometimes Mrs. Potosny was in the corner with a nurse back in a closet, so if she needed to grab a student for counseling, we didn't even see her many, many days. So Katrina and I talked, and that was at the beginning of Mr. Hiley's tenure, and he said, you know what, Pam, do what's best for kids. Take care of our kids. What do you need? And so we developed a committee made up of mental health professionals, made up of teachers, support staff, and we said this is what we feel our kids would benefit from. They need a place that when they have a fight in the morning with their parent, or their parent has laid hands on them, that they can come and reset before they walk into an AP chemistry classroom to take a test. They need a place that if they don't have food, or if they don't have clothing, we need to meet their basic needs so they can come be the best student that they can be. We have that. Thank you, Mr. Hiley. He wrote a grant. He wrote a grant and was given $100,000 to help buy materials and furniture and things for our area. If you've never been to the Student Success Center, we encourage you to come because I can guarantee my own children have talked to one of these ladies, okay? We see almost all of your kids, sometimes daily, whether it's to give them ramen noodles to take home because they don't have food, whether their backpack ripped, they had an accident and they spilled chocolate pudding over their shoe. We provide all of those things so kids can focus on leaving us and being prepared as a strong academic student. In 21 years here, every time I speak with a military recruiter or a college recruiter, they say, we know Tyler County students are ready. We want that for our elementary students as well. Because students are different, even the youngest ones are suffering from anxiety, from depression, from things that we can't even imagine based on traumatic events that have happened in their life. And they deserve a place also where they feel safe and they can go just to have somebody listen, give them a hug, and maybe a bottle of water if that's what they need. So we encourage you to provide this as well in our elementary schools. Thank you.
Okay, next up on my list is Brendan Nagy from the Bus Garage, and he is talking about the school consolidation also.
Good evening. My name is Brendan Nagy, and I'm coming to speak on the building of the elementary school as a parent, as a citizen, and an employee of the transportation department here at Tyler County. The consolidation of the elementary schools is really the only logical step that we have as a school system. Our middle and high school has been together for 30 years now. It's now time to consolidate Boreman and Sistersville, bring those two schools together. Boreman and Sistersville have served our communities well, but it's time to combine them. As a parent, having the two schools in close proximity would simplify having multiple things going on with an older student and a younger student. We're going to be right here. You know, if we got to pick one up, we're here. As a citizen, it makes sense to build a new school. Boreman and Sistersville have been in use for around 50 years. We are spending money to repair and maintain these buildings that realistically have been outgrown and are outdated at this point. As an employee of the school, as an employee of the transportation department, it would simplify our work having both schools close to one another. Having both schools together would allow us not to have buses designated as elementary or high school only. You know, they're all coming here, so we don't have to worry about that any longer. Also, we would be able to have the older and younger siblings riding the buses together because we're not separating them. They would be able to be on the same bus. The parents would be able to get the kid off the bus, both kids off the bus at the same time. Also, having both schools close together on inclement weather days, like we have been having here very frequently, we would be able to clear the lots much faster because we're not going in three different directions trying to clear each lot off, and we'd be able to get them done much faster. On November 4th, 2024, Jim Brown, the executive director of the West Virginia School Board Association, came and presented a work session on school board governance. Some of the things that Mr. Brown talked about was duty of good faith. The school board must always act in the best interest of the school district. This standard underscores everything that you do from making business decisions to managing corporate assets to identifying and disclosing potential conflicts of interest. He also talked about duty of loyalty. Board members must always place the school district's interest above their own. You are not allowed to engage in self-dealing. Lastly, he talked about respecting the expertise of the school administrators, teachers, and staff members with their specialized knowledge and experience. Our administrators have proposed the elementary school as the best way to move our county forward. To finish, the reason that I am bringing up this past board meeting was after the cluster that you three have caused from last night, I have no faith that you have the employees, schools, or county's best interest in mind. Thank you.
Okay, next up on the list is J.C. Kimball. He's representing himself, and he is here to talk about school consolidation also. Here it is.
I'm transitioning to bifocals, so I'm gonna try to read this as best I can, and I appreciate what you said, Mr. Nagy, thank you. She said I'm representing myself. I'm not. I wasn't going to talk, but I got here early and I had time to write some things down, so I'm normally sitting on the other side at a board meeting. I don't get enough board meetings, so I'm here tonight. Good evening. Consolidations like the one that you are proposing do not happen overnight, nor do they happen without a tremendous amount of teamwork and dedication. The fact that students, parents, teachers, community members, and staff have all come together to support this initiative speaks volumes about the leadership of Superintendent Hiley. Not only Mr. Hiley, but his incredible team. It's not just one person, it's a team. And you know you have a good team when the right hand knows what the left hand's doing and you don't even have to ask, they just do it. It takes careful planning, open communication, and a shared vision to accomplish something of this magnitude. And that is exactly what we see here tonight. As someone who is married to the facilities director, I've seen, I'm happy to be married to her, most days. I have seen firsthand the countless hours of work that have gone into this effort. There have been so many late nights addressing school facilities issues, water leaks yesterday, today. You know, she said, my water broke, and it was the school. Thank goodness. That's 2 days in a row. She sent me a video of how her day started yesterday, and she said today was even worse. Water gushing from broken lines. She explained to me that she was out mopping and squeegeeing all morning. That's Mr. Hiley's team. That's one of his team members. She answers calls and planning the next steps. Many evenings, and I know I've said this more than once, put your phone down, take a breath, relax. Just put it away for now. But as an administrator myself, it doesn't stop. It's 24/7. The dedication that his team, including himself, have, I know what that takes. I live it every day. And it takes a lot of commitment, which he and his team have. But last night, as she stayed up worrying about whether all of this hard work would pay off, it reminded me just how much heart and dedication she and her teammates have poured into this. I know she isn't alone in these sleepless nights. To every staff member involved in this venture, I know the sacrifices you've made, and I thank you. I think it was midnight when I finally told her to turn the phone off last night because she was physically ill from what happened. You combine that with the Mountaineer loss, and I wasn't happy either. As a community, we have a responsibility to see this through. When the time comes, I urge every one of you to follow through with what has been stated and vote yes. You have been put here by those folks. Obviously, there's a sea of blue, which means I know what direction they want. It's not that difficult to figure out that they want consolidation. And I voted. I voted for the folks that are up there, and I know a lot of folks did, because they want to see this consolidation go forward. And you know the nice thing about being a human being, we can make mistakes, and we can amend those mistakes. So as I stated, we need to vote yes for consolidation. This is not just about today or tomorrow. This is about the future of Tyler County students. To Mr. Hiley and your staff, thank you for your leadership, your vision, and your perseverance. The work that you've done has laid the foundation for something truly transformative, and we're all grateful for your efforts. And once again, finally, if anyone doubted the unity of the people of Tyler County, I already said it, the Sea of Blue stands for it. And I'm sure there are lots of folks that would have come tonight if they would have thought that they really needed to be here. But I think this right here, if you look out there, it should open some people's eyes to the need that you guys need to do. Still got time. The crowd is living proof of the support, not only for our students and their future, but also for the individuals who have given their heart and soul to this county. And that's not been unnoticed. Not unnoticed at all. So once again, the vote for the consolidation. Because I'm only allowed to talk about consolidation, I'll stick to that. The people have spoken. The people have spoken. And I think it's time to listen to what the people have said. I can promise you that I know what goes into setting in those 5 seats. I know that. Like I said, I go to 2 board meetings a month. I know the decisions that are made, and they are not easy. They're not easy. But you're not sitting up there for yourself. You're sitting there for the folks of Tyler County. I personally may not like something, but if I'm setting up there, what's best for kids? What's best for students? That's my job. That's your job. That's 150% your job. You have to look out what's best for the students of Tyler County. And the consolidation is the best thing for this county. I appreciate what you all have done to be here, because it is not hard. It's not easy. It is hard. I'm sure none of you slept last night. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. And you probably got an ulcer the size of Texas today. I mean, I'm just telling you, I know my wife is physically not well right now because of the decisions about consolidation. But you folks are all smart people. You should listen to the smart folks in blue. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your hard work. And I thank you for your upcoming votes on consolidation.
Okay, next on our list to talk about school consolidation is Maggie Fisher, and she's representing herself too.
Good evening. My name is Maggie Fisher. I was in the class of 2000, the first class to go grades 6 through 12 in this building, so consolidation is something that I am aware of. I remember standing on this hill the day we broke the ground for this building. I'm the parent of two Tyler Consolidated High School students. Zoe's a freshman and Morgan is a sophomore, and I am the technology systems specialist for Tyler County Schools. Part of my job is that I process the data that you saw in that PowerPoint earlier. So I was able to see all of the comments that came in. And one word that was frequently mentioned was community. Consolidation is going to create a true center of community and create a true central location for all of our Tyler County Schools resources. And I'm so glad that Brendan brought this up because as a parent, travel between schools is really difficult. When I had a kid at Boreman and I had a kid here, going back and forth as a teacher here was difficult. And I had the best administration, the best support here for trying to make that work. I can't imagine all the parents who don't have that kind of support. So having everybody here at one building would make that so much easier, or at one campus, I should say. Consolidation would allow existing programs that have grown or have been instituted during our current administration to expand with all the schools on the same campus. Some examples. The Grow Your Own Teacher program, our kids could share campuses, our high school kids could go to the elementary schools without need for busing. The Coachman's Club that reads with elementary students. Elementary field trips, they bring them to the greenhouse, so our FFA could share all of their wonderful programs with our elementary school students with a nice walk up the hill instead of having to bus them. Esports, archery, girls wrestling, heavy equipment operator simulators, sports medicine, and CTE programs. Those are all just some of the small examples of programs that have been able to be instituted or grown under the current administration that could expand and be offered in some way or another at the elementary schools because we can share those resources here on one campus. The 5th grade band program is only in existence because Mr. Hiley helped it to be so. Much like you've heard in the past, Mr. Jennings was allowed to say, here is what I need to happen. And with careful scheduling from our fabulous staff here, they were able to make that work. But at this point, if you aren't aware, our 5th grade students are bused here. They have both PE and band here at the high school, and then they're bused back to their school. We also bring a staff member from the elementary school here to teach that gym class. With 5th grade band, or with a consolidation, our band teacher, so Mr. Jennings, could then go to the elementary school. Those students would spend less time on a bus, and we were asking some questions last night that there would be room at the new facility for those students to store their instruments, which means that they wouldn't have to be carrying all of those instruments. I played the trombone. I remember as a 6th grader what it was like to carry that trombone. Have you ever seen a 6th grader carrying a tuba or a trombone? It's gonna work out for all of these kids. Professionally, my job as a technology support specialist, the tech side of me. Let's talk about safety, for example. There is going to be an incredible amount of resources involved in a new consolidation. Technology resources. Managing a one-to-one campus and maintaining it is an enormous job. And right now, there are only a few of us in the tech department, and we are required to travel all over. And most of the time that doesn't happen because we're always putting out fires in one place before we get to the next fire. So having a consolidated campus allows us to put all of our people, all of our inventory in one place. Centralizing our resources, most of our departments are stretched thin. unifying counseling services. And I have to say a shout out to our Success Center, because both of my girls have talked to them. Both of my kids have gone in. Zoe, who's in the audience, I'm sorry, but she spilled milk all over herself one day. She didn't have clean clothes, and the Success Center took care of her. Every single kid is welcome there, and I can only imagine the days when, I'm sorry, Zoe, but you spilled probably pudding on yourself in elementary school, and guess what? She could have used the Success Center then too. And I just think about all of those things from the littles all the way up, that the Success Center is such a success here on this campus that it would be an absolute necessity at the new consolidated campus. Unifying our school medical personnel along with social workers and counselors is important. It was a finding on our recent school health index survey that was a ding on our campus because we share those services. So a consolidated campus would alleviate that issue. Also addressed earlier was specialist STEAM, art, music, and other services. Back to the data, safety is a huge concern. If you checked out our desk, that takes an awful lot of work and an awful lot of bandwidth to run the streaming that some of you might be watching on tonight. And between our two campuses, if the consolidation goes through, there will be a solid line. And that's high-speed bandwidth between those campuses. All of the security cameras, all of the doors, all of that is all technology. It all relies on bandwidth. And having that high-speed bandwidth allows for fast processing of video and communication. So the plan is to have 4 SROs on campus. They can collaborate with anybody who has access to that camera, video, and get what they need in a quicker way than sometimes that we can do now. Watching those youth league boys cheering for the high school boys team at the recent round ball tournament was really encouraging, and I think it was a glimpse into what could be if all of the Tyler County schools shared a campus, creating connections of all kinds and building a strong community of Knights. I'm proud to be a Tyler County Schools parent. I'm very proud to be a Tyler County Schools employee, and tonight, here together, we are a strong community of Knights. Please vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Next on my list is Roger Weiss, a Tyler County taxpayer, and he is speaking on the school consolidation also.
Works. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Roger Weiss. I'm a retired attorney. I've been a citizen of Tyler County pretty much all my life. My ancestors helped settle Tyler County back in the 1800s. We've been landowners and farmers, educators, workers throughout all of our careers, but we've never, ever strayed away from Tyler County. Myself and my family and friends have always been supportive of the Tyler County school systems. I note I see a lot of kids here today, and I'm glad to see you're getting involved. Someone's going to need to carry the torch when your elders are gone. I'm in my elderly years right now, but I have seen a lot of things come and go. My wife, Sandy Weiss, was superintendent here in this county for 17 years. She helped push through the consolidation of your high school that you have here today. I've seen the battles fought. I've assisted her and helped her along all the way, and I've been an open supporter of her and you kids. I've tried to help you all financially. I've donated a lot of money here in the past. We've paid for extra teachers. I've bought your band uniforms one year. We've done everything we could to ensure that you have the finest of facilities. But all this comes at a cost. You have the finest of facilities now in the state of West Virginia, bar none. But who has paid for this? It's been the citizens of Tyler County. You, your family, your friends, your elders, your neighbors. That's where the money's coming from. That's where the money's coming from to build your new school. Now, I have to admit, I wasn't really sold on the idea of consolidating the schools at first. I still don't know that there's an absolute need for it. But I'm a realist. I realize that whatever I say and do, it's going to go forward. So I'm going to buckle down and be supportive of our Board of Education and their decisions in every endeavor. We elected them. They are representatives. They're going to do what's best for the kids and the community. They know things that you don't always know. So I respect their decisions. Now, I want you to realize that we're aware of what this is going to cost the taxpayers of Tyler County. Roughly $65 million for this new building. Now, where's this money coming from? It doesn't just fall out of the air. It's not federal money. It's not state money. It's money that myself, our friends and neighbors, and the taxpayers of the citizens of Tyler County are paying. That's what your consolidation is coming from. It's the iron, hard workers who are paying for this, many of whom have had to sacrifice a great deal for this school. I have friends that are taxed to the point now on their property taxes that have had to sell off some of their assets and properties just to pay the taxes to get this new school through. So I hope that when it is built, that it's built in the proper manner. I want the finest of facilities that money can buy, but I want the money wisely spent. We're going to monitor it, make sure that the money goes to where it's supposed to go for, and still provide for the best opportunities for our kids and people in Tyler County. So I want to thank our board members for their wisdom in pushing this stuff through. I see the benefits of it. I can't deny that. It'll be nice. It'll be for the benefits of all the kids and everyone. But I want everyone to understand that there's a cost for this. And for you kids, I think you should be grateful to all the people who have helped provide this for you. And again, I offer our support from the taxpayers of Tyler County, whom are a lot more numerous than you all sitting here today. There's hundreds and thousands. And I'm glad to hear we're unanimous in that. I want it wisely spent. And I thank you for your opinions and your input. Thank you again, board members.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. Okay, and last but not least, our last delegation to speak, or person, is Timothy Stanley, a citizen. He's representing himself, and he wants to talk about the school consolidation.
Sorry, I had a very limited time to prepare for this. Stand up if you're a taxpayer of this county. Sounds like there's a majority of taxpayers here that support this, as Mr. Kimball says, consolidation. So I just want to ask you, do you truly support the work? It seems like from the presentation Mr. Hiley presented, there was a lot of work and dedication into planning this school. The infrastructure obviously needs updated. The building is 50 years old. Things need to be done to improve the building. I hope that you support the people that put you in office. And I hope that you support your staff members and the students of this county. They all look to you and put you in this office hoping that you support them. And it looks like a majority of these people want you to vote for what's best for this county, not your personal agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Okay, now we are moving on to number 3, and that is the start of the motions. Motion for approval of the recommendation for the closure of Arthur I. Boreman Elementary School and its consolidation into Tyler Consolidated Elementary School contingent on completion of the new school construction. Do I have a motion for that approval? Diana Stender made the motion. Do I have a second? Larry seconded that. Are there any discussion or comments that that need to be made by the board members? Okay, if not, all those in favor of the recommendation for the closure of Arthur I. Boreman and the consolidation, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Arthur I. Boreman will be closed. Motion for approval of the recommendation for the closure of Sistersville Elementary School and its consolidation into Tyler Consolidated Elementary School contingent on the completion of the new school construction. Do I have a motion? Andy Shreves made that motion. Do I have a second? Scott Strode seconded that motion. Is there any discussion on the recommendation for closure of Sistersville Elementary? Okay, then let's take the vote. All those in favor of the closure of Sistersville Elementary and its consolidation, say aye. 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 Opposed? The motion carries to close Sistersville Elementary and consolidate it. Okay, on to number 5. Motion for approval of the recommendation of the amendments for the Comprehensive Education Facilities Plan, the CEFP, for the closure of Arthur I. Boreman Elementary School and construction of the new elementary school. Do I have a motion for approval of that recommendation? Diana Stender made the motion. Do I have a second? Scott Strode seconded that motion. Are there any discussions to be had on that motion? If not, all those in favor of the recommendation of amendments for the CEFP, say aye. 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 Opposed? The motion carries. Okay, on to number 6. Motion for approval of the recommendation of the amendments for the Comprehensive Education Facilities Plan, the CEFP, for the closure of Sistersville Elementary School and the construction of the new elementary school. Do I have a motion? Make the motion. Larry Thomas made the motion. Do I have a second? Andy Shreves seconded that. Is there any discussion on the amendments to the CEFP? Then let's take the vote. All those in favor of the recommendation of amendments for the CEFP, say aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries. That concludes our special hearing on the consolidation of the elementary schools. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Diana Stender made the motion. Do I have a second? Second. Larry, second that. Is everybody in favor of that? Say aye. Aye. Okay. This meeting is officially adjourned at 7:10. Thank you very much for coming. Is that mine? I just laid it up there. Oh, okay. Do we have what? I don't, isn't it Monday? I don't know. Let me look. And what is this in reference to? The Monday.
It's Monday?
Yes. The
I
third?
see the 3rd, is it the 6th? Our next meeting is 6th.
I thought it was the third.
Third?
Yeah.
It's the first.
I don't know that I'd be able to have it before then. Can we, how many days ahead do we have to host a special meeting?
2?
So we have to post it
At least
2.
4. Yeah. I think it's 2. I'll have to ask. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 2.
So, I mean, I could probably, if you wanted to try for like the 31st, but that's only gaining us 3 days.
Next week.
Next Friday. I would think if I'm having the surgery Monday, they don't keep me, so I would think surely someone could cart my ass out of here. I would think. But, I mean, do you think that, I need to have more information about why you want a special meeting. So just give me a call, if you don't mind.
No, listen, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here.
Well,
I truly do.
it was really hard. I really need to talk to you guys at some point. Obviously, that's you've got to do something. And I've been looking at things like that. I just think, what? Could you hear every word I said?